see that guy? Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, we're back out on the road again. What are we riding? This is the electric bike company Model S. Yeah, the Model S, the beach cruiser. We're not going to go too far today. I just wanted to take the bike out. And it is one of the bikes that I noticed that the battery will self-discharge over time if you don't use it. So I have two batteries on here, as you know. I have one on the rear rack, and then I have one in the basket. They're both exactly the same. So I turned on the one in the rear rack, as I usually do. It's usually the first one I turn on. Yeah, it was drained. It was drained. I mean, I hadn't taken this bike out for a while, and it was not enough power to even start the bike up. I mean, it started up, and then it just kind of like had no power to go anywhere. So I turned on the front battery, and we're showing, let's see, without any load on here, we're at 52.6, it's 52.7, it's going higher. 53.1, going slow here. You know, the minute you start putting the throttle on or you start pedaling or anything like that, it's going to drop that voltage. So it's showing me as I'm pedaling here. Let's drop my pedal assist level. About 50 volts, something like that. So I know I don't have both batteries to rely on. I was going to take this out to go a little further today, but yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So as I mentioned before, I usually will charge up a battery just before taking the bike out. But I hadn't made that decision last night, and so I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then this morning I said, well, okay, I'll take the electric bike company. I got two batteries in here. Yeah, big mistake. I should have charged this one up too. So yeah, so we only have the one battery to rely on. So we're just gonna hang around the general neighborhoods and ride. So what we're gonna talk about today? Well, first off, let me tell you what the weather is. The weather is actually pretty nice. It's about 71 degrees. I actually have that on my display screen. A lot of you guys have display screens similar to this. And 71 degrees, so I have my long sleeves on, as I usually do, for UV protection, but also to kind of keep me a little bit warmer. It's a little chilly. Yeah, it's a little chilly out right now. I do have shorts on, so that makes it even colder. And I have my yellow vest on, I got my gloves on, I got my ring on, I got my watch on, I got it all on. I've got it all. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about products that are being offered to me and whether I should do them or not. Okay. So this morning, as I woke up and took a look at the emails that had come in, I got a request from a watch company. Yeah, another watch company. Let's get a little bit more speed here. Going a little slow. Hey, that dog wanted to get the guy cutting the grass, not me. Yeah, another watch company had asked if I would be interested in checking out their smartwatch. Now, my immediate response would be, hey, yeah, let's check this out. I'm a sucker for anything that's electronic. But then I looked at the watches and I go, wow, these are really inexpensive watches. I mean, we're talking on sale prices between, say, $39 to, say, $89 for a smartwatch. So immediately my first response is, you know, how good could these things be? I mean, even the watch that I have on now I thought was really inexpensive for a smartwatch. $149, right? For the COSPET. There, take a look at that. Can you guys see that? I can't angle any further. It's as far as I can angle. So $149 for that, and I thought that was inexpensive for a smartwatch. Well, this would be a lot lower. I mean, even their best option was about $89 on sale. I was like, wow, can they make a smartwatch really that good for that price? So as I did with this watch, I started checking out what other people might have said about the watch on YouTube. Yeah, that's the one benefit you have, you know. Just like any consumer, I would check things out first. If I've never heard of it before, I check it out, see what other people have said about it too. You know, now some people will say, you know, you shouldn't do that. You should just do the review and get your own opinions. Well, I will get my own opinions, but still, I want to see what others have to say about it. I mean, why not? It's part of the research, I think. So the one watch had that somebody had checked out was not from that brand, but from another brand. It had glucose monitoring. Okay, now this brand also has glucose monitoring, daily glucose monitoring. I said, well, wait a minute. If you're not taking a drop of blood, and you don't have something like a Dexcom, or what are the other brands that, you know, continuous glucose monitor on your arm, which is actually connected through to your underneath your skin, right? Look at this guy. You see that guy? Wow, that guy was coming down hard. He was on my side of the lane as well. I'm thinking, man, what kind of driving is that? You could hear him still screeching. He's screeching all over. I think the other guy that was standing there might be recording him or something. That is ridiculous. I can smell the smoke from his tires. I can still smell it over here. Yeah, some kid on a car. Those are the guys that will get you killed, right? Oh man, I've never seen that firsthand coming towards me like that. Well, hey, he's gonna be on YouTube. Hopefully we got his license plate. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Now he's kind of ruined my train of thought now. All right, so anyway, that is ridiculous. So anyway, the watches. So it's got continuous glucose monitoring supposedly through the watch, you know. And I had heard from others in the past that, you know, they don't typically do that well out of smart devices like watches. So I watched the guy's review. Again, it's not the same from the same company that offered it to me. And the review wasn't too good. Yeah, he compared it directly against his CGM, and he compared it to blood tests directly, you know, where he does a finger stick test and checks it against his blood directly. And yeah, it's not even close. It's way off. It's not even close. So I'm thinking, okay, that's that one brand, but will the other brand do any better? I have a gut feeling it won't. But on the other hand, the curiosity in me says, I'd like to check it out anyway. I'd like that. I would really like to check it out anyway. All right, this guy just blew through a stop sign, and I was going to go straight across. So you do have to watch out. That's two now on this one ride. Right now, that lady didn't even look, didn't even know that I was there. She just blew right straight through it. Okay, I go through stop signs as well, but I look before I go through. I looked at her. She didn't even look. All right, so back to the watches. So part of me says, I'd like to take it in and check it out, see how far off it really is. So here's what I said to the company. I said, I'd like to be able to talk about anything I want about the product and give my honest opinions of it, whether good or bad. We'll see how they respond to that. So I asked Mrs. Wright, I said, what do you think? She says, don't do it. Don't take it. Now, I have not ever taken a product if I had in my heart knowing that it was not a good product, right? But the curiosity in me for this type of product makes me want to try it. What do you guys think? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Now, if the company says, that's fine, we'll send it to you, say whatever you want about the product, good or bad. Should I do it or should I not do it? Now, if they said back to me, says, no, you can't say bad things about our product, the answer immediately would be, nope, sorry, I'm not doing it then, right? But if they say you can say whatever you want, good or bad, give your true honest opinions about it, then I'm thinking, why not? Because as a watch, I'm sure it's just as good as any other watch. I mean, it's digital, come on. It's going to be accurate as a watch. What about the other stuff? The blood pressure, the pulse, you know, your heart rate, all that stuff. Okay, it might be good, it might not, I don't know. But I'll have another thing to test it up against this Cospet that I have on my wrist right now. Yeah, this one here. So, but I'd like to get your opinions too. You know, should I do it? Should I not do it? Now, by the time this video comes out, I probably would have already made a decision to do or not to do. I can still smell that burnt rubber from that car. Yeah, it's a while now, but look at the road. You see his skid marks? Man, I can still see it. I know you guys can't see it here, but all right, kind of stops here. He saw me coming, so he had to kind of pull out. But look at the skid marks on the road here. Look at this. He makes a right turn and went down the other road, but oh man, scary, man. What if he wasn't looking? Come straight at me. That would have been bad. Well, you know what the title to this particular video is going to be. Crazed driver runs down the road and tries to kill me. Yeah, kids, not an excuse. So anyway, yeah, put a comment on this one. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, even if it isn't this particular smartwatch, other types of products, okay, other things that are inexpensive things. You know, of course these things come from China. They all do. Everything comes from China. What you're thinking on that? I'm talking about anything goes Monday. All right. I mean, as far as our e-bikes are concerned, obviously we still do what we usually do. But anything goes Mondays is anything I feel like doing, right? Lately, it's been about e-bikes as well, but you know, we're talking about smartwatches and the like. Anything I feel like doing. What about these type of products? Not quite the greatest, maybe, but maybe it is. Maybe it's as good as the Cospet. Don't know. And if we don't take it, then we definitely don't know, right? I mean, I feel like almost like you've got to try at least one to see how those things go. If you don't try it, then you don't know at all, right? All you can do is guess at it and say, okay, they're cheap, they're probably not good. I mean, in general, your gut feeling would be it's probably not good, right? What do you think? So why Mrs. Wright is saying, no, don't take it. But how do we know? I mean, what if this thing for $89 is actually pretty good? I would not be taking their cheap ones. I would be taking their most expensive one. And the reason is it's only $89. I mean, the cheap one for, what is it, $29, $39, $49. I mean, how good could those be? I don't want to review something like that. And besides that, as I mentioned on the Cospet watch review, I need the watch to have a stainless steel band. I cannot take silicone or any of that stuff because I tend to get a rash when I sweat underneath it. So there's only I think two watches that I've noticed from their selection there that has the stainless steel band as an option. So it'd be like one of those. And again, it's one of these big watches, you know, just like this thing. It's kind of big. I would prefer to try one that's slimmer, but it doesn't have those options. You know, you got to have those silicone watch bands, and I can't do it. So I've gotten used to this watch. Yeah, the Cospet, I kind of like it. It is big. I've never had a watch this big. I mean, I've had watches that are diver style watches. I don't know what they call those. I mean, it would be more similar to a Rolex style, right? But not a Rolex. And I've always thought those were kind of big, but man, when you put this thing up against it, these are huge in comparison to those. The watch face being fairly large, right? I remember when we were still dating, Mrs. Wright and I, and she bought me a watch. Yeah, she bought me a Seiko, super slim watch. Super slim. Back at that time, these thin, slim watches were the big thing. You know, we're talking mid 1980s. I still have that watch, although it needs a new battery, of course. I never put another battery in it. But you look at that, you know, we're talking analog watch now, right? You look at that, and then you look at these big monster watches that I have on right now. It's a huge difference. So times have changed, and of course, smartwatches are kind of popular at this point because people are all checking out health and fitness type things. So we've gone from, you know, analog watches to digital watches again. I remember when the digital watches first came out. Remember those? Yeah, it was like from Pulsar, I think it was one of the brands. I remember the first time I saw these digital watches was on a James Bond movie. Remember that? Yeah, Roger Moore had a digital watch on. I think at that time, digital watches were like relatively brand new, and everyone was like, "Ooh, look at this thing," you know. Then, you know, the popularity kind of waned. It went down. You know, people wanted to go back to an analog watch. You know, they wanted the precision of, you know, Swiss movements and precision of a mechanical thing being accurate and everything. Of course, the Rolexes aren't all that accurate either. By the way, they could be off by a little bit, you know, every month. Not much, but a little bit. Digital watches tend to be pretty accurate. So these guys are putting up, just like they did over here on the right side. Let me see here. It says "Go Pirates." They're putting up another one on the other side. You know, it's like you know, going through a fence, putting like cups on a fence to create a word or create graphics. That's kind of cool. And it's looking really good too, those guys. It's colorful. Well, we'll see it eventually, you know, one day as we ride past after they're done. So yeah, the digital watches have always been kind of an interesting thing. They lost popularity, and they're coming back now. They're coming back as smartwatches. So it's not just a digital watch, it's got other functions, you know, take your blood pressure, your heart rate, your emotion. What other stuff does it have on here? The emotion, the stress levels, sleep functions, and now they're talking about, you know, glucose monitoring. I don't know. I just don't think the glucose monitoring would be accurate. I would not trust it, even if it was close. I still think a finger stick test is probably a lot more accurate. Even the CGMs that you wear on your arm is probably going to be a lot more accurate. But that review that I saw on YouTube, it was way off. at least for that particular brand, it was way off. So, you know, and especially for someone who's diabetic, if they were to rely on that as their only way of checking their glucose, man, that's not safe. That's not safe. So, but my curiosity is also for the other functions. You know, will be okay for the other functions at least. I know, and the thing is, when you get a product like that and it has all these functions, you expect all of them to be good, right? But is your expectation lowered because it's $89 versus, you know, if you get something that really truly has better capability? I mean, if you look at the smartwatch from Apple, I mean, that's not 100% perfect for everything either, but still, in general, most people say it's pretty decent, right? I think they are also working on some type of thing too to see if they can develop a glucose monitoring on the watch too. But at this point, it's not out yet. I mean, have these guys beat them to the punch? I mean, they're not the only brand that has it. Other brands would have it too, but have they beat them to the punch? I don't know. I would like to try it. But again, only if I'm allowed to. See, you can see the thing that says "Go Pirates." Kind of cool. Only if they allow me to say whatever I want. You know, to say it's not accurate, it's not what this and that. They say, yeah, you can do that. I might take it. Alrighty, I think that's all we have for today. Hey, I appreciate you guys sticking around and listening to what I have to say. And I'm watching the craziness of a guy trying to kill me on the street. Alright, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. More videos about anything we feel like doing, plus more e-bike rides. E-bike videos are typically on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Anything goes on Mondays. Anything I feel like doing. Alright, talk to you guys next time.